Hello, everybody. It is Thursday and we are live. And I just want to welcome you to our group and to what I often do most often is weekly. And this week we've been talking about and we've been thinking about, and I've been really thinking about is the beyond. And what about the beyond? What about, we talk so much about, being in hormone change, and we talk about, perimenopause and being a bit younger, but a lot of my ladies want to think about, but you know what, where's the information for those that are post-menopause? What about if when we're getting older? And so I wanted to shine a little bit of a light specifically on that. And so when we were in the Facebook group, we had a number of questions, or I asked, okay, so what are the things that you want to ask and what do you want to do? So that's where we're digging in. Yes, I'm Tennille Hoogland, the creator of Athletes Thriving in Perimenopause and Beyond. And, I have a team of athletes, beautiful athletes that are in, a lot of them in perimenopause, a couple of them in the beyond, and some of them in their 20s, some of them in their 30s. So really focusing on the female athlete. And I would love to meet you if you are keen to learn more about my coaching. So the questions, the things that people care about and what they provided me with were postmenopausal osteopenia, asking about supplements and to increase bone density and not that just skew the DEXA scan results. So actually increasing our bone density is something that when Kathleen was interested in. Shara, why do our tendons get injured more? And what, if anything, we can do to prevent this? Angela, why do I hurt so much? Why is it that I'm in pain? Why did that shift? What's changed? Brick asks, how to regain bone in your spine when you have osteoporosis. And I think that these are really great and amazing questions. And I think that there are a lot of challenges that and particularly like, how do we deal with these things? What's going on in our body? So I want to also add that when I talk to some of my athletes and just women in the beyond, there's also a fear of going hard, right? Like we fear of like you're hard. And so, I've had a number of interviews. Dr. Megan Wasfi, who I put in a reel this week, and I talked to Pat Van Galen in another previous summit as well on heart health. And how do we keep showing up and believing that we can do hard things? And one thing I want to say about that is that Brené Brown, I almost laughed because I'm just like, who should I say this? She has this term saying FFT. And it is the fudging the first time, but not fudging. And it's the FFT. Women that are in the beyond, I'm speaking to you, we don't know a lot. We don't even have science on females. Never mind science on females in the beyond that are active and going for it. You are creating a whole new path. I had this privilege of being interviewed by a beautiful Jane this morning, and she is in the beyond, and she is what was really where I'm going to bring her on into the group. And what was really apparent to me is that when she was doing Ironman at the very beginning, this was, I can't remember exactly the year that she did it, but I thought I was just a young girl, and I didn't know that she was, creating this path of privilege for me for when I was a pro. And because I didn't even think about the things that she was thinking about when she was racing and doing the first Ironman. She said there was 300 females that were at this Ironman, and she had podiumed actually in the Ironman World Championships. And she, had this incredible story of what it took, and what wasn't normal. You're still there. You're still breaking down the barriers for us, for me. And I just want to acknowledge that, is that you're, when the struggles that many women, the community that we're looking for and the places that we're going, and the comfort that we can say, oh, well, somebody else did it. You are the somebody else. You are the somebody else that's doing it. If you're in the beyond. Hillary Denning is a friend of mine. She was on the Element Race team, and an incredible athlete, And she gets some of us youngins. I remember this was a couple of years back, and she would be like, who's going to do the stair workout? I'm doing a stair workout. I found the hardest set of stairs that you can imagine here in Victoria, British Columbia, where we live. And there she would go up and down those stairs, hurting. Oh my goodness, Tennille, you should have seen it, but it's really getting me strong. Hillary is setting a whole new bar. And it's when we see the Hillarys of the world and the Janes of the world and doing hard things that we start to understand what's happening, and we understand what's possible. So let me get into some of these, just the physiological, what's going on. And first I want to say, when just like to come off of the heart health piece, is listen to the little clip that we provided. It's 3 minutes long about heart health. And yes, Dr. Megan Wasfie talks about it's like a house, and our house gets older. It's like starts sinking in a little bit. Yes, our maximum heart rate starts to come down, but we can still go and get to and push into that higher level of intensity. It doesn't mean that we don't get there. Yeah, it's hard, but you still can do it, right? And that's where we want to really focus in on what we can do. So yes, while maximum heart rate starts to decrease, some of the, that strength of going hard, let's not fear it. I encourage you not to fear it, because you're strong and you're healthy. And of course, I don't know anything about your own health story, so go and I would say, make sure you talk to your doctor and ensure that you have, clearance to do exercise, because that seems to be like the thing that we need to say. But if all those things are checking, you can be strong and you can do hard things until that doesn't have to end. And yes, your hard things change. And yes, what we go after can change, but don't stop doing the hard things for yourself. Keep getting uncomfortable, whether it's I'm going to go longer, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to change. I'm going to figure out how to do balance. Oh, now I'm going to figure out how to get into the gym and feel comfortable being in a gym, period. All those things, keep getting uncomfortable. It's the discomfort that we need, because then we're in the stress that we need, which means that we are growing where we need. That is for not just beyond, it's for all of us. All right. Bone health. We had Dr. Christy Desapri, brilliant woman, speaking on the last summit. And yes, I am going to make sure that we can get these out to you again in one form or another. And I'm starting to get all and put them into bundles, so that if you're really focused in on nutrition, we can get that bundle. And just because the richness of the information is there for you. But Dr. Christy Desapri was talking about bone health. And we had also Alyssa Kuhn talking about how do we, if we have osteopenia, how do we have osteoporosis? What is it that we can do? The thing that you can do is go to see an expert like that. Go to Alyssa Kuhn for sure, and really come into the type of exercises. And she emphasized single leg movement. She emphasized balancing movement. She emphasized variability of movement. She emphasized resistance training movement. She emphasized heavy lifting for you movement. She had it, and it's all in a system in which you keep on developing, so we continue to build up the resilience so you can do those kind of movements. That's it. There's no pill, there's no supplements that you can do that is better than the actual movement that is going to keep your body and your bones as strong as you can get them. Coming into Dr. Christy DeSapri, who also emphasized exercise and resistance training as a key fundamental component to bone health. There's no shortcut there. There's no shortcut there. She did talk about vitamin D. She did talk about calcium. She did talk about, these different methods. And, I don't have the answer. I think one of the things that you can do is seeing, I know this is going to be almost like, I wish it were different, but getting to the places and the people like Dr. Christy DeSapri, who understand female physiology and the components of it, and can put together and pull together your hormone change to what your current health status is, not just in and like really getting into the details. Are you vitamin D deficient? How is it that we can actually metabolize, take in, utilize, and those pieces, measure, understand that we can actually add up, get down into the nitty gritty, get your details, be committed to the curiosity, be a scientific experiment for yourself. N equals 1. I am going to do the best scientific experiment. What is going to shift it? And see what you can shift. I do believe that our bodies can continuously, our bodies always are wanting to find a way to be the strongest self. And while we may have lost a lot of bone mass, I think that there's ways that we can keep on strengthening around it. And I think that there's certain resistance exercises that we can see so that we, can manage and support ourselves so we don't have the falls. That's what you want to do, potentially. So going there. So I don't have exactly, really specific recommendations, but there are people like Alyssa, there are people like Dr. Christy that with specificity get specific with them. Know exactly, how do I do this? And am I willing to do the work and be really committed to that process? Let's talk about tendons. We had Dr. Claire Callahan talk about tendons and ligaments in two different summits that I had, really thinking about what is happening to our tendons and our ligaments as we get older. Think of an elastic band. When it gets older, the kind of gets a bit drier, right? And we got to keep using it. We got to keep it lubricated. We want to keep on oiling it up. We don't want to just let it sit. It's just like, the other day I was checking on my bathing suits and I was just like, oh my goodness, I haven't used that forever. And it had gone totally dry. Like, like when you just pull an elastic out and then it stays and it doesn't oh my goodness, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't have your bathing suits for that long. In any case, what I want to say there is that the most important thing is that we keep on moving. Why does it hurt when we stop moving? It's because when things start getting creaky, we got to keep on that pliability. We got to keep on telling our bodies that you can move it and use it and strengthening around it. It does get drier. It's like that. It loses that elasticity, the rebound effect. But as long as we keep on trying to use it and thinking about speed. That's why we want to keep on doing sprint interval training. We want to keep on doing those dynamic movements to the best of our ability, particularly in the beyond. Because when we stop doing it, then we'll definitely lose it. So hydration. I mean, these are such basic, and you're just like, okay, stop. Like I know these things. I know hydration, but hydration, people. Like, don't, like, we want to keep drinking, drink fluids, right? We got to stay hydrated. It's amazing how quickly we can become dehydrated. When's the last time you peed today? Right? Let's try to pee more. Then we can think about, just providing even thinking about like omega-3s and all these, to keep the bones and the ligaments and the tendons all working together, doing the mobility work, stretching out, breathing. Why is it that my joints hurt, was where Angela asked. And the kicker to being and beyond is inflammation, right? So what's changed? And the free radicals in our body, and their increase our ability to remove free radicals and like the oxidative stress. So when we go, even like if we think about exercise, we're creating a stress in our body, and how do we recover from it? That's why we need more recovery and some, to really bring in the recovery component of it. How do we bring down the inflammation as much as possible? Well, a couple things is what provides your body with, how do we bring down inflammation? Hydration again, one, right? We bring it down by breathing. We bring it down by good sleep. We bring it back down by having an incredibly beautiful diet of colored foods. And in some cases, we have to do a whack of support of the vitamins, vitamin C, these antioxidants that will support the diets that in particularly in places that we don't have good soil. So when we think about organic foods, even, like, it's always comes down to the soil that things are grown in, to know and understand the micronutrient value of things. It's actually in the soil. So how good is, we should have like soil testing. That's the real testing that we need, is soil testing, to see how depleted is the soil. Because even if we're not putting pesticides on something, is the red pepper, thinking about when we taste a tomato and the richness of flavor when you grow your own tomatoes, because it's actually been, ripened up until the last minute, where it's just about to, like, it's red and it's gorgeous and it's taken all the nutrients from the plant before you've picked it. Well, now they're picking it way early, still organic, way early, and then bringing it to the supermarket, and it's and then it's ripening, but hasn't created the richness, the redness, the color, the depth that it had when you let it grow to its maximum. Well, guess what? Unless you're getting it from the farmer's market that is down the street, because then it's had to travel a long ways from Mexico for us, California for us. Like, these things are in big trucks going across. We may need to supplement our food source, even if we are having beautiful color in our life. That can come from wonderful products. Like, I get no benefit out of this. I wish I could, but like Athletic Greens, been working for a lot of people. It does cost money, and there is some challenges there. Like, is that really going to make a difference? See if it does. Go on it for, a month. Go on it for 2, then take it away. And did it make a difference? You are an N of 1. An N of 1 to see. And you'll see how your body responds. See what you can do. But don't stop trying. don't stop moving, because that is when we get achier and when we stop being able to truly benefit. I've talked for a while here now because I'm just in the mood for talking. So everybody, that is my session for In the Beyond. Basically, my goodness, my hat is off to all of you in the beyond who are trailblazing still, trailblazing for me, trailblazing for everyone, because you really, really are. And what a responsibility. What a thought. We're watching. We're learning with you. And I'm not in the beyond, but I'm here to support you too. And everything that I know, but you're there. You're doing it. You're living it. You're the N is one. And we are so fortunate. So thank you, my dear, beautiful females in the beyond. Have a phenomenal day. Take care.